Hello and welcome to Green Building Bites presented by Green Building Alliance. I'm Leslie Montgomery from the Green Building Alliance team, and today we bring you a special bite that was produced in partnership with the Master Builders Association of Western Pennsylvania. The MBA's Green Builders Committee wanted to share some of their best practices for reducing construction waste on site. This remains a big challenge for a lot of project teams and is a high priority for the Green Builders Committee here in the Pittsburgh region. So in this series of videos, you'll see some tips and tricks on site and in the office from Rycon Construction, Turner Construction, PJ Dick, and AE Works. In this video, we'll see how Rycon Construction reduces their contaminated recycling loads by segregating food waste on site and how they improve employee morale and get everybody behind waste reduction efforts.
Good morning, Pittsburgh Builders. This is Nathaniel Green on site at Carnegie Mellon University's Fifth and Clyde Residence Hall. This is a roughly 100,000 square foot project designed by LTO Architects out of New York City. Our local architect of record is PWWG. We're seeking LEED Gold certification for this project. We have some lofty goals for recycling content. Under 4.0, we are expected to hit a 75% diversion rate. One of the strategies that we've implemented to do that is to segregate our food waste. Food waste is one of the biggest contaminators in a construction load. By implementing a separate 3-yard dumpster on site, we've been able to increase our yield of our construction commingled loads by roughly 12 to 15%, which puts us solidly within our target goals for LEED 4.0. The strategy or the idea behind this is that contaminated loads, open coffee cups, drinks spilling, food waste from lunch gets on recycled content and it doesn't get accepted at the recycling facility. And so by keeping these in a separate container, we're able to increase our yield and have a better outcome for the project. Another thing we were able to do, this is ground up construction, so we didn't have a lot of waste early on in the project. We were able to recycle our site lighting and re-implement that into the landscaping plan. And we've also been able to scrap a good amount of metal, and we use the funds from the scrap metal to keep employee morale up and get subcontractor buy-in actually to our food waste diversion plan. So by buying lunch periodically, we're able to keep guys happy and people are recycling more, which is great for the project. Thanks for your time and good luck on your projects.
Here in this video, we'll learn how Turner Construction uses prefab construction methods and the creative reuse of materials to reduce their waste on site.
Here in Pittsburgh at the 5051 Center Avenue project, the Turner team utilized a prefabricated penthouse to reduce the amount of construction waste it would have taken to construct the penthouse on site. The masonry contractor on the project is reusing the wood pallets that other contractors have left behind after bringing their materials to site. This has reduced the amount of pallets that have been thrown into the dumpsters. Even our own Turner employees have turned to making crafts from the unsalvageable pallets. At the University of Pittsburgh BST3 project, the Turner team has salvaged office furniture and worked with local companies such as Construction Junction to provide a new use for the reclaimed items. At MSA, the Turner team has made a team effort to recycle their own personal items from water bottles to utensils and take them to the local recycling center. The Turner Construction team out in Seattle worked on the Watershed Office project, which also happened to be a Living Building Challenge. One of the requirements to the Living Building Challenge is the need to salvage one material per every 500 square meters of gross building area. Due to the size of the project, that meant that 14 materials had to be salvaged and reused. This included items such as rough sawn wood used for concrete pours turned into decorative walls at the entry of the building, utilizing existing foundation walls to eliminate approximately 100 tons of concrete waste that would have been generated if new foundation walls were poured, and reusing existing pendant lights from the original building, just to name a few.
In this video, we'll learn how PJ Dick uses early client communication to identify opportunities for reducing waste and how they take advantage of local resources, including Construction Junction and Doors Unhinged. We'll meet some of them in this video too.
I'm Noah Schultes with PJ Dick. A best practice to minimize waste at the start of a project is to talk to clients on demo and renovation projects about salvaging opportunities. And so oftentimes fixtures, finishes, equipment will be selected to be reused at a different portion of the project. But even if a client does not initiate it, it may be a best practice to take long lead items like terrazzo base and salvage some of that. There's some outside resources available in Pittsburgh's market that are going to share about how they can help you in your salvaging efforts.
The construction industry consumes 1/3 of the world's resources and generates 40% of waste that ends up in landfills. 20 years ago, Construction Junction was launched to turn this waste into community resources. From our location in the east end of Pittsburgh, we offer free drop-off and pickup services. We have a decon and salvage operation that will visit your job site before demolition. We will document your donation for tax purposes and LEED credits. You can also shop at Construction Junction for commercial and retail items. To find out more about what Construction Junction can do for you, go to our website, cjreuse.org, and thanks for being part of the solution.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew Ellsworth with Doors Unhinged. Doors Unhinged is a Pittsburgh-based company that reclaims and resells commercial door systems. We recover high-quality commercial doors, frames, and hardware out of buildings being renovated and demolished. We then make those materials available as a lower-cost and zero-carbon alternative to new. We can help you in a couple of ways. First, our no-cost deconstruction and pickup services can keep high-quality materials out of your dumpsters and out of the landfill. This can also save you time and labor on disposal. Second, we resell these materials at up to 50% less than a comparative package of new materials. We work with architects, contractors, and owners to specify and install these materials back into new projects. This is a great option for some of your smaller and budget-conscious projects. Give us a call at 412-414-9293 or find us online at doorsunhinged.com. Thank you.
Finally, we'll go to the office with AE Works and see how they start there to create a company culture around waste reduction and how they make it easy for employees to reduce their waste by making composting available and recycling their e-waste.
Hello, Shane Goodman here with AE Works to talk a little bit about best practices for recycling at your company's office. We know a little bit about this at AE Works. We're a certified B Corp that focuses on our social and eco impacts. And we've won the Sustainable Pittsburgh Challenge in the past and have incorporated a lot of the things I'm going to share with you today to win that. The first thing you got to do is figure out how to divert waste. So start with what you buy. Make sure you're buying things that are recyclable for the office, as well as figure out what you don't have to buy. At AE Works, we have our own cups, plates, and dishes that get washed in the dishwasher, and people share kitchen duty to make sure that happens, so we don't have to buy things that need to be thrown away or recycled. Also, figure out what you can recycle. Talk to your recycling company and make sure you're throwing the right things in the recycling bin. And lastly, think about unique items. We've worked with the Pittsburgh Center for Creative Reuse in the past, and in order to make sure our unused construction materials and samples get used on future projects. We've worked with Braddock Farms to compost so they can use that for things they grow. We've also have our IT guy collect electronics once a year, not just from the office, but from the home to make sure they're properly recycled. Next, you want to make it easy for people to recycle and hard for them not to. So get rid of any small trash cans at people's desks and centralize your waste management and put good signage there so people know what they can throw where. Lastly, make it fun for everybody. We had everybody at AE Works sign a pledge for things we were committing to sustainably around the office, including waste management, as well as created a challenge for all the employees to do at home, practice sustainable efforts at home, including recycling, and ultimately picked a winner based on those efforts. And the last thing you want to do is make sure you got a dedicated group of people who are helping to make these practices a reality. It's eventually, after a lot of practice, it becomes just the way you do things. So good luck, thank you, and look forward to seeing you soon.
I want to thank the Master Builders Association of Western Pennsylvania and the Green Builders at Rycon Construction, Turner Construction, PJ Deck, and EE Works, as well as our friends at Construction Junction and Doors Unhinged. I think we learned a lot of great tips today for reducing construction waste on site. I hope you learned something new and that you give some of these tips a try on your construction site.